Welcome to NBA Today. I'm Malika Andrews, and tonight Luka's magic meets something out of this world because the alien has landed. Two stars, or should I say two galaxies, colliding. And their numbers tell the story, both producing at historic levels that are fit for Hollywood. Luka's, they're kind of hard to believe. He's averaging 41, 11, and 8, numbers that only Jokic, Russell Westbrook, they've ever reached in a four-game span in NBA history besides Doncic. And then there's Wilt, who's the only player to average 40 and 10 through the first 4 games of the season. Wemby has been destroying worlds both sides of the floor here. He was the second player with 30 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks through the first 5 games of a season, and he's nearly averaging twice as many blocks as any other player. And fueled by their stars, the Spurs and Lakers, they find themselves at the top of the West, trailing only the Thunder in the conference standing. The Spurs, they started 4-0 for the first time in team history before dropping their last game. The Lakers, they're 6-2 on a 4-game winning streak heading into tonight's matchup. And yesterday, I asked Wemby about facing Luka Doncic.
Luka is one of the hardest players to scout because he understands and masters the game more than almost everybody else. So it's always a great challenge. I don't think I've ever won against him.
Did you clock that, Danny? He knew. He said, I've never gotten a win against Luka Doncic. Right. We know how competitive Victor is, right? We also know this. We know that styles make fights, and that should make for an interesting matchup tonight because the Spurs, they boast the league's second best defense. The Lakers, they rank top 5 on the offensive end of the floor. So let's take it to the tape. Perk, Danny Green. Guys, what's fascinating, right, is the Lakers' offense thrives in exactly what the defense of the Spurs does so well against. Can you explain, Danny?
San Antonio is very good at getting up into guys because they have a 7'4" guy behind them.
7'7".
To him. So when you have a Wembanyama behind you, Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell, they can guard guys in the perimeter comfortably. The Lakers are very good at scoring at the rim. Luka's actually good at getting to the free throw line as well. So they're one of the highest in the NBA at field goal percentage because they can get to the rim. Austin Reeves. So what they have to do, to me, Luka has to get off the ball quick. AR, swing, get it back, and attack, and be in attack mode right away. So if they can do this, change side to side, they can get some easy outlets at the rim. Not as easy with Wemby there, but they have to make sure that they move the ball, change side to side so the defense can shoot. This right here is where they need to make their money. They need to put Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic in pick and roll to get Wemby away from the basket. This is the only way that you can get an easy look at the rim. So if you get your big at the basket, I know people get on Rudy Gobert a lot, but Luka does this to anybody. That's Bam Adebayo, he's doing it too. So he can get around any big, but if you got to get Wembanyama away from the basket as much as possible if you want to get some easy looks at the rim.
All right, easy looks at the rim is a tall task, literally, when Victor Wembanyama is standing in the middle. But Luka is averaging over 41 a game, third most in the first 4 games of a season in NBA history, trailing only 2 Wilt years. You know that's pretty good. But Wemby and the Spurs,
really good.
They boast that's incredibly good. The second best defense in the league. So, Perk, how do they slow down Luka Doncic?
Well, it's easy because this is not Rudy Gobert and it's not Karl Anthony Towns. We're talking about witnessing one of the greatest defenders of all time, on the verge of being one of the greatest defenders. And we're talking about 7-7 Victor. Look at this possession. First of all, he know who he's going. He's sagging off. Look at this. Look at the activity. The drop coverage, active hands, getting back, taking off the lob, and then the activity on the ball, right? And then he knows that this guy is a non-shooter, so he's giving space down, and all of a sudden they get clearing the board. This is clogging up the paint, stopping drives, right? We know he leads the league in shot blocking, but the other areas is teams are intimidating. He's intimidating teams from driving the basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a big DeAndre Ayton night tonight as well. He has to do a better job of trying to bring Victor away from be a threat from the perimeter. But ultimately, it's going to be Austin Reeves and Luka trying to put him in pick and roll and make him work on that end of the floor.
Right. Thanks to Wemby, the Spurs have really walled off the paint with the third best defense against paint shots this season. But it's a little bit of a different story outside of the paint, right? The Spurs, they're allowing teams to shoot nearly 40% from 3. That is in the bottom 5 of the league. So now joined by our front office insider, Bobby Marks. Both the Spurs, Bobby, and the Lakers, they've had really impressive starts to the season so far. But it's the Lakers' 3-guard lineup that you have an eye on tonight.
Well, for a November 5th game, I'm excited about this matchup here. I look at the 3-guard lineup, as you mentioned, with Marcus Smart and Austin Reeves and Luka here. They are running teams off the floor right now. 146 points per 100 possessions. They are a plus 29. Of course, this will probably change when LeBron comes back into the lineup here. But the spacing in here is what I like about this lineup here. And then a little bit to San Antonio. Did they find a little bit of a formula in that game the other night against Phoenix, getting Victor off the free throw line? 0 free throws that game here. But the chess matchup between J.J. Redick tonight, I'm all excited about this.
I don't know if they'll be able to. I highly expect Victor to have a bounce-back game and play way better than he did against Phoenix. But if Lakers want a chance to win, they do have to push the pace. And I have to give a lot of credit to the young guys. Jake LaRavia is showing up. We said Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, they're playing well. But, they got to do a good job of trying to set with Victor Wembanyama. They got to get him away from the basket as much as possible. They got to put him in pick and roll, make him work defensively as much as possible. But again, the Lakers have done a great job. I'm gonna give a lot of credit to J.J. Redick and those younger guys that have shown up, Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart and Nick Jr.
Yeah, getting some shots.
To win a game against Portland with Luka and AR resting is a big win for them.
Well, this is a huge test this is the biggest test for Victor and the San Antonio Spurs.
That they've had this part of the season?
Yeah, they're going against the best duo in basketball right now.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, right? Both of these guys are putting up MVP-type numbers, right? It's no other second option in the league or Robin in the league that's fifth, like Luka is top 5 in scoring. Austin Reeves is top 5 in scoring and top 5 in assists, right? And he's the Robin to this squad. So it's like it's like we're witnessing greatness right in front of our eyes when it comes to Austin Reeves. And why I say greatness? Because he's getting you to 31 points, but he's also getting you to 9 assists, so he's making people around him better. On top of that, when his shot is not falling, you know what great players do? They get to the free throw line. He is getting to the free throw line at a high rate, especially those games when Luka was not playing. So I'm looking around the league and I'm saying to myself, what other duo is doing what these two guys are doing? And it's not one.
Yeah.
I remember when I was on a show 2 weeks ago when I said, did they have enough offense? And Perk was like, oh. He looked at me like, what? And what happened was, in the Miami game, 21 assists between the two players, making other players around you better. Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. They made Jackson Hayes look like a young Kenyon Martin the other day. So it's about the ability to kind of spread the basketball
and
around.
the fact that I didn't think they could play fast. I know things will change when LeBron gets back.
Right.
But the fact that they're pushing the pace and running with Miami, because Miami's trying to outrun people. They were able to keep up, not only keep up, but beat Miami and play their style of play.
And we are rapidly approaching the date that LeBron James, we've been circling that early to mid-November, that LeBron James could be reevaluated and start to inch back towards being available to play and make his season debut for the Los Angeles Lakers. We're getting closer and closer to that time. But I can tell you, I was at the San Antonio Spurs practice yesterday. We heard the clip of Victor Wembanyama immediately being able to call up, I've never beaten Luka in my career. It reminds me of Chris Paul. He had a list of all of the guys, all the teams he'd never beat. And after games, he would come and say, I got another one. That's the type of competitive mindset that Victor has. He puts on a show when he is here in Hollywood. But tonight's game, it's in Los Angeles. And Luka, Wemby, he's always talked about that feeling of wanting to play against the Lakers, what it's like for the first time. Talked about that his rookie year. But the Spurs now